Hey guys, Justin here from Simplified Investing. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. As we do every week, this is our weekly watch list video highlighting the 5 stocks we are watching this week. First one being Meta, second one being BAC, third one being Lyft, fourth one Nvidia, and then the fifth one being NEO. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Thank you. So for those of you who have watched the prior videos, the first thing I'm going to be doing is breaking down the market, and that's essentially going to be using SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF, to see what we've got within the past week and then what we can expect to see within the coming week. That being said, what a week it has been, and really an unprecedented week here with the bank collapse of SIVP, or VB, Silicon Valley Bank. Truly nothing I expected to see, something that was definitely spooking the market, as we can see with the VIX. You can see we finally got a massive move on the VIX here on Friday. And really it's about if they can contain this bank blowout to just be within that one bank, or if this is going to have a funneling effect here on the regional banks, on the larger banks, mainly the regional banks, but time will tell. One thing, a good point to bring up is, with this bank failure, will this maybe give the Fed the sign to not hike basis points by 50 basis points here at the next meeting? The main reason being the Treasury and the bills that they had are obviously altered by the increase in the Fed funds rate. They had to sell those at a loss, and then they had a bank run, and it essentially ran them out of liquidity, forcing them to be shut down. That's still to be known. There is FOMC coming up. We will see if the Fed does stick with that 25 basis point hike compared to 50 after this is obviously spooked the market. This is the first true spike we have seen in the VIX in a long, long time. And you can see from the yearly chart, this is the biggest spike we've seen all year in the past year. So you can see this massive move up here, basically from 22 all the way almost up to 30. True fear in the market when you get a massive move like that. Now back to SPY. What happens with SPY? We trade the highest volume we got all year long. I think we can see a potential bounce move here off this exhaustion sell-off. You can see a huge amount of volume trading, 2.2x the normal amount of volume, which is massive on an ETF here like the S&P 500 and SPY, for example. I do think the biggest area of support down here into this 380-140 area. I do think on Monday, very likely to be an inside bar day here. We'll watch this reject up here into this 387 area for a continuation move. I think the long play comes in over 394 for that move up into 400, 404, 406 region. Nice exhaustion sell-off here. Again, watching this inside bar reject or a strong bounce through that 394 area for a continuation move to the upside. Now, as for SPY here, you get this attempted weekly rally here, hammer candle, breaks down here on 3.6. Now I'm going to watch, I do think we see an inside bar here off of this move. We'll be watching that daily reject coming into that 384 region here this week. That being said, the first play of the week, interesting setup here, is going to be Meta, and it's been one that's been on our watch lately. What I like on this one is that 180 retest. I want to see this 180 retest hold for this test back up here into this 190, 193 area. If we do fail, I think we head lower into 168.80, but the main play and the main thesis is this pullback hold of 180. Watching this continuation move to the upside here with potential into that 200 or that 190, 193, and then 200 region above here. Nice daily, nice pullback. Let's see if we can hold 180 for that continuation. BAC, speaking of banks, this is obviously something you guys should keep on watch. It could have severe implications. Technical wise, massive volume here on BAC, massive volume on banks, obviously from the news. Really interesting wick out here at this 52-week low. Very, very strong volume. Shaking out this low off this reversal day on 10.13 and immediately reversing and stuffing to the upside here. Continuation, I'm watching either a bounce off of 29.33 or a hold over this candle high here from Friday for that move up into 32.50 plus above. This sell-off coming from that Silicon Valley Bank, if we can contain that blowout to just that bank or some smaller regional banks, I do think we can see a bounce here on BAC. Watching about 31 to take into 32.50 or that 29.33 bounce region. The third play, one that's very weak. It's going to be lift. And ever since we had this earnings gap down here, not much strength. We got this gap down here again on 2.9. Form this movement here, and then we get a very strong daily candle here, selling off and no letting up here. I do think we see a continuation sell-off here below that 850 region into that sub 6 area. Watching if we do get a bounce, potential intraday short opportunity at this 951 area on any reject. Going here into the weekly chart, you can see we are hitting lows. We get a nice continuation move lower. I do think as long as we're trading below 951, we do see that continuation sell-off to the downside. Potential into, obviously, below this, trading at lows like this. I like to look for psych regions, so 8, 7, 6, 750. Those half-dollar, whole-dollar regions will be areas of interest here. But nice continuation move. Very weak after this earnings gap down. No true bounce pressure, and now a move lower. I think we can see a continuation sell-off here on this move. The fourth play, one that's holding up decently well compared to the market, is going to be NVIDIA. We got this gap through that 238.59 area that I was mentioning. Then I wanted to see if we held 230. We get this pullback move into 230 here on Friday on lower volume. I want to see this level hold here for a hold of this gap up here and then a continuation move higher. So holds 230, watching 238, 59, 240 area here to the upside. I do not want to see this move break below 226, where then we could see a continuation sell-off to the downside. The last play is going to be one I'm watching to the downside, is going to be NEO. Very weak daily chart here. So we get this gap down off of earnings, 3-2. We try to get this bullish move up here, and then we're selling off here, kind of like an inverse cup here. I want to see this hold below 831 for this continuation sell-off. Potential down into the sub $7 region here on NEO. Looking very weak. That key is going to be that 831 area for that sell-off move. Again, watching this, if it do break below, I want to see it hold below that region. Last thing I'd want to see is a break below and then it immediately reclaims back up into this $9 region. So cracks below 831, holds, watching for this continuation sell-off here on this particular name. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, could you please give it a thumbs up and subscribe? It would be greatly appreciated. If you are interested in getting our course alerts and more, feel free to check out SimplifiedInvesting.com today. I'd love to teach you guys and have you guys on board. That being said, that wraps up this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you.